Hello, my name is Kainton Molonier, the computer guy, and if you subscribe to my channel, you find out that recently I've been making some videos on telecommunication systems, and here is going to be a brief one because I'm just going to explain the criteria you look at before you choose a particular kind of modulators. Recently, I made some videos on modulators, modulation techniques, types of modulators, but right now I'm going to explain what do you consider for you to choose a particular type of modulator to use in your telecoms system? Okay, so I want us to look at 6 different criteria. For each of these criteria, I'll give a brief explanation of what it's all about. So let's outline them and then we'll try to explain them. If I'm not able to explain clearly, please forgive me. The important thing is that these are things to consider for you to choose a type of modulator to use in your communication system. We have the first one, the DC component, bandwidth compression, error detection, noise immunity, self-clocking, which one have I not? Bandwidth compression I've mentioned, self-clocking I've mentioned, please. I want to check my note. Then we have inversion insensitive. So I want to explain these 6 items. The first one there, no DC component, means that there are some modulators that doesn't have DC component, that doesn't create a waveform that is right at 0 Hz. What it means is that if you have a waveform that have component that is close to 0 Hz, information may be lost. So if you have a modulator that have waveform generated that is right at 0 Hz and there are some components of the information close to 0 Hz, you are sure that it might just sit there at 0 and the information is lost. So no DC component generates waveform that is never ever at 0 Hz. So we also have the next one, bandwidth compression. Simply have to do with a modulator that makes sure the bandwidth is compressed, that is as small as possible. Take for instance, you have a time interval of t and the bandwidth being the inverse of the time interval 1/t. That is very good because the bandwidth is compressed. Some modulators don't do that. Maybe they have a bandwidth that is just the time interval. So we want to also consider this when we choose the type of modulator. And then we have the noise immunity. This consideration, it means that some modulators are more noise immune. That is channel noise that is added to your signal. Some are able to filter out or are immune or not affected by this channel noise. And we also have self-clocking. It means that you help the system in terms of generating clock pulse. So if you have the signal doing some kind of clock pulse generation, that is by making sure there is a transition for each bit received, okay, you have kind of self-clock pulsing, that is for each bit there is a transition. So that's self-clocking. And we also have inversion insensitive. Sometimes the transmission channel inverts the signal or the bit streaming, the information being sent. For inversion insensitive modulators, it figures it out. That is, it still figures out the correct bit stream that was transmitted. I think we've basically covered the 6 of them. Is there one I'm forgetting to mention? Maybe in my next video I'm going to explain it. But I hope this has been a little informative. I know it's not been a very perfect one, but if it's been informative for you, like my video, you can share with your friends, subscribe to my channel. There, in no time, I'm going to make more explanatory videos than this. Thank you for viewing.